What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded, and here we are at another Saturday again. We closed out the week, and it is time to do another update on the baby account. I think we are at week 7, and I will just let you know up front that this week was probably the least amount of gain on the account since we started doing this. But hey, a gain is a gain nonetheless. So as usual, we'll go ahead and bring up the TD Ameritrade actual account to show you that from its inception, for those who don't know, we started at $35, having our first trade on February 28th. And then we were at 35 bucks. And today we are at $3,224, which is over 9,000% increase since its inception. And this week, I think we had a 5.8% increase overall on the account itself. Sorry, guys. This is the graph for this week. As you can see, we closed out Friday afternoon at $3,046. We had a good Monday, actually the second best day of the account, which was also my birthday. Lost $10 on Tuesday. We gained some money on Wednesday, and then I lost some money on Thursday. This brings me to my next concern, which is while I'm trading this account, I'm doing it at work. And with what I do for a living, things are a little bit wacky right now. And as a result, I am constantly getting sidetracked and distracted, and it's costing me money. And when that happens, it forces me to want to trade larger positions and try and undo mistakes that I made. And as a result, I'm taking more risk than I really want to be. And that's what's causing this type of rockiness that's happening this week on this account. Because of this, I might be taking next week off of trading this account so that I can reset my emotions, reset my brain, and, get back to doing what I was doing when I was growing this account for the first 6 weeks significantly on a weekly basis. That being said, for those of you that are here just to see how the account did this week, we're up another close to 6% on the week. And for those of you who are here to see how we got there this week, that's where we're going to go ahead and launch TradingView. And I would recommend that you don't do what I did this week for the most part, because distractions definitely caused many mistakes that I'm not proud of, and it is what it is. So as I said, Monday, April 11th was my birthday. I had a put bias. I'll go ahead and put that out there now. The reason I had a put bias was because we were getting the 1-year and 3-year Fed inflation expectation reports. I assumed that they wouldn't be good, and they really weren't. But anyway, that's why I was feeling puts so heavy today. So I didn't do anything immediately at the open. I didn't take my first trade actually until 10:03 in the morning. I bought 5 puts. There was really nothing here that would indicate getting into a put was the right thing to do, other than the fact that every time we tried to move up, we got knocked back down. I was looking at the size of these wicks while we were trading sideways, and we never really made it past this candle here, which was 6 minutes into the open, ever again for the day. So I played 5 puts, and 2 minutes later, I sold those 5 puts for $60. Now, this is part of the problem that I'm having right now. Because I am constantly trying to outdo myself and outperform myself on a weekly basis, I am finding myself taking larger positions than I want to and that I should be taking. The account has grown significantly. 5 puts on a $3,000 account is not really too much, but I was getting growth on this account by doing far less, and I need to get back to doing that. because I am finding that when I have larger positions like this, instead of letting them play out, I am feeling the need to take my profits quick. When in retrospect, this 5 puts could have been a lot more money had I just held them a little bit longer. But because I was emotionally charged with these trades, I'm cutting them, minutes after I get into them. And that's not how I want to trade, and that's not how I'm trying to teach people how to trade. So I need to reset myself. At any rate, yes, I made $60 there. I immediately bought another put when we failed to move higher just a couple minutes later. We chopped sideways some more, not knowing what was going to happen and seeing this big candle here, but holding through it. I thought maybe we weren't going to move lower, so I went ahead and sold that put for a $25 profit here. And, profit is profit. When we rejected again, trying to move up, which was a resistance level that had been put in several times already that day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, I went ahead and bought 5 puts again. And this is the one that actually started to dump, although, again, trading on emotion. I didn't let it play out, but I did take $80 profit on it. So I'm up pretty good on the day already, and we're only at 10:15 in the morning. Of course, I missed the good put there, and I buy another put. I let it ride out for $21 profit. At this point, I'm up comfortably profitable on the day, so I was willing to take a little bit more risk. But again, here we were chopping sideways for a good portion of the time. Wasn't really sure how it was going to break. I'm thinking to myself, hey, it's my birthday. Do I really want to risk giving up any of this profit? So I cut this put really quick, still made $14 on it. And of course, my insatiable need to continue to do better and make more money and, not learning from mistakes, obviously. I went ahead and bought 5 more puts, thinking that maybe a drop was going to continue, which ultimately it did later. But this was my only losing trade on the day. I sold those puts 1 minute later for a $40 loss. I was convinced that let me keep what I got, or you thought I was convinced, because I later bought 10 calls right after, which again, emotionally trading, not letting it do what it's going to do. Could have made a lot more than the $90 I made on those 10 calls, but of course I cut it short, walked away with a $250 profit. Obviously, it's less than that when you take out all the fees for all the contracts that I traded, but nonetheless, it was a good day. So we move on to Tuesday. Now, Tuesday had a lot going on at work. I was making mistakes left and right here. I was buying calls when I meant to buy puts. I was buying puts when I meant to buy calls. I was buying multiple puts when I meant to buy single puts. This happened both Tuesday and Wednesday. Or no, Tuesday and Thursday, sorry. But nonetheless, Tuesday was CPI day. I thought for sure we were going to have a bloody, bloody day. Turned out not to be the case, if I'm not mistaken. We kind of just stayed in a decent range, but nonetheless, I bought a put here because we tried to move up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I bought a put on the third one thinking maybe we were going to come back down. We also rejected it here. We didn't. We continued to move up. I sold quickly for a $23 loss. Admittedly, I went ahead thinking that this run was going to continue. Bought 5 calls. They went immediately turned the other way, which was the high of the day, of course. And I sold those 5 calls for a $115 loss. So already I'm down, a decent amount on the day. When I start out down on the day, I immediately go into this mode of wanting to trade, not to be profitable on the day, but to be close to even as possible. It's that mentality that made me say, hey, I need to buy 10 puts here instead of 5 or 1, or being patient and waiting for the chart to show me something of importance that would justify getting into a specific move or at a specific position size. Instead, I bought 10 puts. This worked out. I sold 5 of them quickly for a $50 profit. I held through some chop, and we got a little bit of a drop here. Again, I should have let it keep going down, but because we resisted, or we had support here several times, starting from back here, here, and here, I decided this could be the point where it bounces back up. Let me go ahead and take profits here. So I went ahead and sold the last 5 for $125 profit. Because of that resistance, I thought maybe we would continue up. I bought a call here, and of course we kept dropping. I sold that call for a $19 loss. I went ahead and got in a put a minute later on this green candle. Again, I was trading scared, I'll be honest. Sold it for a $6 profit, and then of course, I got faked out here, despite the fact that there was no good reason to buy a call here. And I bought a put and sold that for a $16 loss. So at the end of the day, in Thinkorswim, I showed a $9 profit, but by the time you add up all the fees, I think I lost $10 on the day overall in the final account balance. Now, we go on to the 13th of April, which is Wednesday. This was one of those times where I went ahead and bought puts when I meant to buy calls. And there was no news for me to have any kind of a bias of puts. So I have no excuse for this madness right here. None. Actually, these are the 10 that I bought puts instead of calls. I was trying to hedge this situation here that I got myself into with calls here, and I bought puts on accident. So, bought 10 puts here right out of the gate at 1 minute into the day, which was a horrible idea, and it goes against every rule that I make for myself and that I teach others. I bought another put here. Have no idea why I had this bias towards puts today, but obviously I did. And then as we moved up, we started to turn around. I went ahead and bought puts again because we were hitting a resistance, and I was hoping that we were going to move down. But prior to this, I sold out for a $285 loss. So I was down $285 at 6 minutes into the day. I almost just closed my trading app and walked away at that point, because this here had me not feeling real good, and it had me wanting to not make it worse. But at the same time, I was fighting with myself, saying I can make it better. So I went ahead and bought 10 puts, held through that madness, not because I wanted to, but because my boss called me away and I couldn't close this position. In hindsight, it ended up being fortunate. But at the end of the day, I would have cut this because of fear of making the problem worse. So anyway, it ended up running to this pivot point and rejected it, and I was able to get out of those puts there for a $200 profit, which still had me $85 in the hole on the day. I felt much better at this point because I didn't want to lose that much money. Went ahead and took a call position. That ended up working out very well because I bought them at the best possible time, 1 minute past the best possible time for this particular run. And I got out of them right at a spike of volatility, which got me out at a $232 profit on those 2 calls right there. Closed me out for a $147 profit, less fees, and we ended up making some money on the day. Move on to Thursday. Thursday was not a good day. Thursday, I, again, was looking at all the reports that were going to be coming out, and none of which I thought were going to be good. And they weren't, but because of yesterday's psych out and everything that I thought was going to drive the market lower, I let yesterday's emotion carry into this particular Thursday. Plus, we were going into a long weekend, which most of the time the market likes to sell off because nobody wants to hold through a long weekend. But nonetheless, I nailed the first put of the day. Ended up buying that thing and selling it for a $120 profit. This 210, I accidentally left the price at which I sold it at. So that's why that's there. But then I went ahead and assumed maybe that this run up was going to continue. I bought 4 calls looking to get into that. Not only was I completely wrong, I was wrong in an epic fashion, and I didn't cut these things where I should have, which would have been right here. Still would have been a loss, but not a $272 loss. It would have been a little bit less than that. Nonetheless, again, with work being what it was, the fact that I didn't want to make it worse, and everything combined, I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead, let it be a $152 loss on the day, and we'll call it a day and live to trade another day, which is exactly what I did. And that was it. On Friday, the market was closed and we finished it out. All in all, we still gained overall on the week. I was not happy about my performance and how it happened, but I was fortunate and I need to reset myself. I know I said that last week, but I really do need to, whether it's in the form of taking a week off of trading that account, or being very strict about playing single contracts at a time. Stop trying to compete with myself. Stop trying to trade this account for the purpose of showing it on YouTube. That's hurting me, and it's being obvious right now to me. So I need to go ahead and stop doing that. And if I can't, or if I don't feel like I've convinced myself to trade properly come next week, I will be taking that week off. If I do make any trades on it, I will have an update on the account the following weekend, and we'll move forward as usual. All in all, this is what we did for the week, and this is what we look like since the start of this journey. Very happy with the results, and you know, anybody can do this if they just play smart and have good risk management. And it's doable. You know, options do not have to be as dangerous as people make them out to be. They are not gambling tools. When used properly, trading with leverage is a magnificent tool. And I am proving that on this small account. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and go ahead and click that bell notification. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I do use TradingView. I have a link to TradingView that if you sign up for a paid plan, we both get some coins that we'll use towards paying for TradingView. I have a link to our Discord down below where we have a great community of people. Everybody's focused on the same thing, and it's a super supportive group of people. And lastly, there's a link to the Patreon if you care to help support the community and have some extra perks that the non-patrons don't have access to. It's only $10 a month. I invite you to go ahead and join by using the link below. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. See you!